Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is a digital asset space. Good afternoon and happy, what is this, Saturday? Happy Saturday to you. Guys, I hope you guys are having an absolutely outstanding day today. I apologize for not being able to come to you live the last few days. We have been out of town in hunt of a new home. So it is, hey, Miss Crypto Siege, it has been an interesting time, having a great time out here for sure in Texas, and looking like it's pretty much a certainty that we'll be heading out to Texas. We've been talking about it for years now, for sure. And yeah, so it's looked like that is about to happen. Head on out to Texas. For sure. What's going on, Nick? Hola, my friend. What's hola? Hola to you, Nick. Appreciate you being here. 416 Crypto is in the building. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, so some interesting stuff coming out of the XRP community. Very, very interesting stuff. I think it is well overdue. I think it was well overdue. Well overdue. For sure. So shout out to Mickey B. Fresh and Patty XRP. For sure, Mickey B. Fresh, I guess, if you will, I don't know if you want to use the term calling, what is it? Calling it out, calling people out, or calling them to the carpet, whatever the term is. But I think it is important for us in the community. There is a level of responsibility. You guys, you've heard me say this time and time again. Right. When you turn on that microphone and that camera, there is a certain level of responsibility that comes with that. Really, whether it's getting it right, whether it's being the positive influence, whether it's not leading people astray. All of these things are important. Any great business, concept, product, idea, right? If network adoption, mass adoption is not created, it won't win. It doesn't matter how massive the technology is. It needs adoption, right? In the crypto space, we may talk network adoption. Financial space, they may talk mass adoption, right? But in any case, it needs adoption, right? And so what Mickey is doing and trying to get across to the community, it's important what you say. It's important to get the facts correct, right? It's important to recognize the opportunity that we have and to present it correctly. These are all things that are part of adoption. Look, projects are out there looking. Projects recognize they need adoption. They recognize that. Yeah, you can't just win on technology alone. I say this time and time again. We come from a space in our business where we deal with a lot of these massive biotech companies with breakthrough science. Breakthrough. But if they can't get it, one of the biggest challenges is it's breakthrough science with a bunch of science people who don't know how to take that breakthrough and bring it to the masses. So what they end up doing is selling it. They sell it to some company because that's not their thing, is creating the science. They don't know how to take it to the masses. So they end up kind of selling it for far, far less than what they could have got for. But more importantly, now they are out of the loop in terms of how it's marketed, how it's presented to the masses, what's the pricing of it, all of those different things. They completely lose control of that, right? Because they don't know how to take it to the masses and have the integrity of that product or science, kept intact, right? They don't know how to do that. And in the digital asset space, we are that. We're the quote unquote people who take it to the masses, right? And especially the content creators, and I can tell you from personal experience that, you know, we've had biotech companies say to us, we've been watching you. We've been watching you. We've been watching how you operate. Do you see what I'm saying? We've been watching you. We've been checking your integrity or lack thereof. We've been checking how you perform, how you behave yourself in the marketplace. How are you treating your customers? How are you treating your business partners? Watching. And the same thing goes for the digital asset space and quote unquote communities, if you will. And the XRP community has always been one of those communities recognized as very passionate, but also very, what's the word? Well-versed, very, I think well-versed in the overall ecosphere or ecosystem of Ripple and the XRP, the digital asset, right? So the next thing is, how are you behaving? How are we behaving? Right? Here's the thing. We don't want projects detaching themselves, you know, from the community. I guess that's a good way to put it. We don't want that, right? You know, it's a very, very interesting thing. You know, Flare Networks has choices in a lot of things. And sure, I saw this on Twitter. They need us more than they need us more than we need them. That's not true. That's not true. If you recognize what Flare is and the potential of the Spark token and the ecosystem around it, it's mutual. It's mutual, right? And it's a blessing. It's a blessing. But there are other passionate communities, right? They chose to build on the ledger for a reason, right? They chose to build on a ledger for a reason. So it's a mutual thing, So them needing us more is really besides the point, right? It's not about a sense of entitlement. It's about appreciation and being grateful, right? Being grateful for this opportunity, because it's a massive deal. And so, Mickey Be Fresh, I listened to, there was a stream, he did a live stream like over an hour. So, wow, welcome to the Crypto Sieges world, right? He did a live stream, it was over an hour, and it was very, very, very informative. And and I agree with Mickey wholeheartedly. I listened to the whole thing from beginning to end, right? We was, doing a lot of traveling, right, on airplanes, and listen to that thing from beginning to end. And I agree with him wholeheartedly. It's really, really important to not mislead people on what's going on, and to get beyond one's self and one's world, right? And that's what's going on. It's a lot of me, my world, everything else around doesn't matter, right? And so I don't know if you guys watched this video, but I would highly recommend that you do. Let me see here. From beginning to end. Where is it? And before I do that, don't worry, I will. But yeah, definitely watch this video here. RippleNet XRP Super Wallet plus ODL 2.0 lines of credit to boost XRP price, debunking conspiracy theories, Ripple pivoting to tokenization and DeFi. It's a massive, 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 absolutely great video. I'll put it in the thing here. And I'm going to share some of that with you guys. Ashish Burla came out with a very, very interesting article on ripple.com/info. insights for sure. What's going on, Chris Stoddard? Evening from the UK, Crypto Siege. Loving your DeFi message. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Where is that at? Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Appreciate you checking in all the way from the UK, my friend. We just actually met someone from the UK. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation, very nice conversation with them yesterday. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, from the UK. So in any case, guys, again, there's been some kind of communications. So it's looking like something's going to happen kind of between us and the Mickey B. Fresh camp. Can't really tell you the details right now, but that'll be cool. That'll be a cool hangout for sure. It will definitely be a cool hangout. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the ripple.com/insights article from Ashish Birla. We're going to play some Mickey B. Fresh and Patty XRP. I think it's important. I think the message more important than anything. And I just got to tell you, personally, I think that Mickey B. Fresh has earned the right. You can call it a rant. You can call it a calling out people type deal. I think he's earned the right to do so personally. I really do. I think that he's given and given and given and given selflessly. Is that the way? Selfish. Not selfish. He's done it in the not selfish manner, right? Time and time again. So I think he has earned the right to say what he's saying and to try to bring a point. Make a point, I think, and I think he's right about, especially the content creators. I know I appreciate the time, the effort, the energy, and the resources that he takes to get it right, to dive deep into what's going on, and to then be willing to share. I mean, it's massive what he's been doing. So personally, that's kind of my deal there. But before we kind of get into things, Michael O2, what's going on? South Texas. Celsius, we're in Texas, just outside of Austin, bro. Just outside of Austin. Yeah, just outside of Austin. So yeah, I have to go check out Celsius as well, right? But before we get into it, guys, let's see. What are we gonna do? Let's hop on the bridge. Let's go. What's going on with the market right now? Goodness gracious. We say the market is doing what the market does. What's going on with your cash flow? That's the question. Don't tell me about that exit strategy. Tell me about your wealth strategy. And hopefully DeFi is in it. Don't forget about that Twitter poll that went out. Would you rather have $1 million in assets with the potential to go to 2 million? Or would you rather have $600,000 a year in cash flow? Overwhelmingly, people took the cash flow. That's what DeFi represents. Walk away from the 2017 mindset. This is 2021, and the digital asset space has evolved and is evolving. Decentralized finance is the future. Just ask Ripple. Okay? Just ask the people from Ripple. Bump, bump. Congrats and welcome to Texas. Thank you, my friend. Ready to do it big like Texas, do it all. Exactly. Exactly. We've been talking to getting down here for about almost 4 years now. What's going on, 416 Crypto? I think it's going to be a pretty cool thing. Pete Johnson is in the building. Yeah, so really, really excited about that, guys. Listen, we're going to get into some stuff. The market is doing what the market does, of course. XRP is about 62 cents, right? DeFi is the future, and I hope that message is really kind of getting across. I get it. It can be a little scary, but it's just a matter of taking a little bit of time to get familiar with it. And I just got to tell you, I believe Flare Networks and all things built on Flare Network, that's our thing. We say in our outro all the time that the digital asset space is our chance to win. What do you think I mean by that? I'm talking about us, the people, the average Joe and the average Jane. That is our chance to win. It's time to to walk away from the mentality that we can't because of them. We can't because of the powers that be. We have to walk away from that. Like this is 2021. DeFi is here. Decentralized autonomous organizations and governance by the people is here. It's here. And it's up to us to promote it. And it's up to us to create network adoption. We got this little baby here. It's Flare Networks and Flare Finance. It's in Gala Games and anything that builds on Flare Networks. Trust me, Ripple understands it. That's why Ripple understands that DeFi is the future. Ripple's going to go out there and try to grab their share as well. Trust me on that. They're not going to just walk away talking about cross-border payments. Talking about cross-border payments is the end-all be-all. No. Cross-border payments is the beginning. Ripple, the company, is going to walk into DeFi. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? They got superior technology. They're going to walk into DeFi. They recognize that is the future. But do you recognize it's the future? Do you recognize the future? Right? Do you recognize what the future is? That's what's most important. If you don't know what DeFiLlama.com is, go check it out. If you don't know what Zapper.fi is, go check it out. If you don't know what Evo DeFi is, you need to learn that. That's where we're going. That is where we're going, my friends. DeFi is where we are going. It's our chance to win. It's our chance to create cash flow, become liquidity providers and market makers, to participate in governance, to have the vote is a voice. Your vote is a voice. Unencumbered. Do you see what I'm saying? We can participate on these. We got telegrams and discords where you can participate. You can ask questions, get your questions answered, be heard, add value. Hopefully, if you come in with a challenge, you're bringing an answer to the challenge. That's what we have an opportunity to do as a community, right? And I'm hoping that the XRP community, Stellar and Litecoin and Doge will evolve into the Flare community. And we create network adoption. In large part, the success of Flare Networks is up to you and I. In large part. But as a community in the XRP community, if we come across as the wrong type of community, why would the people from Litecoin and Doge participate? If we come across in some, entitlement, they need us more than we need them type of mentality, we got to walk away from that kind of madness. Each of us need all of us, and all of us need each of us. Pretty simple deal. Now, did you guys check out the ripple.com/insights? I'm going to go over that first before I get into Mickey B. Fresh and Patty XRP. Some really interesting stuff coming from Ashish Burla. Dude's laying it down, not really holding punches. And in a lot of ways, he's telling you what's going on. And I've always felt that the people from Ripple, they're made up. The company is made up of people. The company is not made up of governments. The company is made up of people. The average Joe and Janes who went through the 2008, 2009 crisis, just like you and I. All right, so let's listen to a little bit from Ashish Burla, evolving RippleNet for a tokenized future. Well, how about that? Who was it that was just saying this is not your 2017 digital asset space? Who was talking about that? Huh, right? Ashish must have been hanging out in the crypto season's home. Today, crypto and blockchain are more mainstream than ever. On every major news outlet, there is a daily mention of crypto or discussion of how crypto markets are faring. And it's even gone prime time on Saturday Night Live. How about that? There's a palpable level of excitement for crypto that isn't showing signs of slowing down. Tokenization is here to stay. Years ago, I talked about Securitize and Dharma, I believe it is. I said, don't sleep on Securitize, right? Don't sleep on what they got going on. Tokenization is coming. But why would it not? We're moving into a new financial system. It's estimated 46 million Americans who own crypto today, and many other countries are adopting this tech at higher rates, much higher rates. Major companies like Square, Robinhood, Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal are firmly integrating crypto into their products stack. Yeah, world famous DJs are offering exclusive NFTs to their global audiences. Even central banks are jumping headfirst to the potential of crypto. About 80% of central banks are exploring use cases involving central bank digital currencies, for 40% already testing proof of concepts, right? You heard about what happened in El Salvador with Bitcoin. Since Ripple's inception, we have understood the potential of crypto to transform the financial system, from changing the way money moves across the globe through near instant payment settlement to the way we borrow and loan money through DeFi platforms, right? And so again, when you look to purchase a crypto, can you leverage it? I mean, I'm telling you, this is what we're evolving to. We've said it on Generational Wealth Wednesdays time and time again, right? The 1% of the 1% don't liquidate their assets. They leverage them if they can. They leverage the asset. It's hugely important, right? Is if there's a platform that's going to pay you to deposit and pay you to borrow, you might want to consider that, right? Back in 2012, when Ripple first launched, crypto and blockchain largely lacked the infrastructure, liquidity, and trust needed for adoption. There were only a few exchanges at the time doing a few $1 million a year in volume, compared to traditional exchanges like NASDAQ with about $5 billion in volume per day. Fast forward to today, there are hundreds of exchanges around the world doing billions in volume every single day. What did I want to say here? Tokenization is transforming how people buy, sell, track, and manage assets. In fact, the World Economic Forum projects 10% of the world's GDP will be tokenized by 2027. That's just a few years away. Ripple is uniquely positioned to partner with enterprises for that future. There's no question. Those who don't embrace new technologies will be left behind. And that includes people in this community who are promoting old school traditional financial products. Preparing the enterprise for crypto future, Ripple is evolving. We're expanding from a cross-border payments network to a platform providing tokenized services that will bring crypto. I have to read this. Ripple is evolving. We're expanding. We're expanding from a cross-border payments network to a platform providing tokenized services that will bring crypto capability to the enterprise and prepare them for a future where crypto is front and center. RippleNet was initially built to solve the challenges with speed, cost, and transparency in cross-border payments for those that have been grossly underserved by the financial system at large. Initially built, but it's evolving. It's evolving. They get it. they've kind of checked the box in that cross-border payments thing, and they're moving forward into a space that, again, this is just my personal thing, but I felt like Flare Network and that discovery was a wake-up call to Ripple. Like, whoa, what? Yeah, a wake-up call. And I don't think it's a coincidence that federated sidechains all of a sudden is coming out and being proposed. Right? They recognize the big-time market share grab there. Like, okay, yeah, it's time, we just about got this cross-border thing down, just about. It's time to pivot into this bigger market share, which is decentralized finance and the tokenization of things. Not that they haven't thought about it, but now they're actually putting things in place. And the great thing about Ripple, in my humble opinion, is they are so nimble, right? They can pivot and adjust when necessary. So it's not that spread themselves too thin thing, because they've got that cross-border thing. It's doing okay, right? ODL and RippleNet, is doing okay, right? So they get this. What is the other part? What is the other thing? On-the-can liquidity eliminates the need for pre-funding and cross-border payments by using XRP as a bridge between two currencies. As the first movers started using the product, it became clear that businesses that would find the most value would be the PSP, which I believe is platform solution providers, and the digital-first banks. They are the ones specializing in remittance, e-commerce, and SME type payments. High volume, low value that mid to large banks have long ignored. ODL is fulfilling a real need today. ODL is fulfilling a real need today. The volume accounted on ODL is 2.4 billion in notional value in 2021. 2.4 billion. And I'm going to go to it. It all starts with a wallet in just a second. But my point to starting this article is just Ripple gets it. Like a lot of people think that like the Ripple and its software and its blockchain was second after Bitcoin. It didn't come third, fourth, or fifth. They've been in this game for a while, and they 100% get it. What's going on, Trevor LeConte? Flare is announcing the last F asset today. Oh, they are? Cool. That'd be great to hear from them. See what that is. Majestic, dude, welcome to Texas. Thank you, Majestic. I appreciate that. Looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. But do you see what the mentality is with Ashish and the people from Ripple? They get it. Look, and again, there is zero chance that Ripple was going to miss out on DeFi. Why would they? It may start enterprise, right? It's more than likely it's going to start at the enterprise level. But if they can offer something to the masses, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? If they have the capability to grab more market share, why wouldn't they? What's going on, Devon, Steve? Appreciate you checking in. Right? So XRP Lava's here. What's going on, Josh? What's up, brother? Appreciate you being here today, man. Neil F, you didn't miss much. Make it be fresh and Pat XRP doing their thing. For sure. For sure. It's important that we get it right as a community. Because people are watching, and it's not other people in crypto. It's, other communities so much as it is potential projects. We want to get it right. Network adoption is massive. The gift of the Spark token shouldn't be taken for granted. Shouldn't be taken for granted without question. And again, for me, I don't know if you guys watched that video or not, but I believe that Mickey B. Fresh has earned the right to say what he's saying. My personal opinion, for sure. So this interesting article came out, Neil, from Ashish Burla. It's on ripple.com/insights, and it's talking about how Ripple and RippleNet is evolving into tokenization and DeFi. That's essentially what that article is saying. And I just got to tell you that, we're blessed. Tomahawk steaks at Siege's Casa. Trevor says, yeah, tomahawk steaks, huh? Yeah, we haven't had a good steak here yet, have we? No, not yet. But I got to tell you, we're in a really blessed spot with Ripple and Flare now. I mean, can you imagine? And it's important that the people from Litecoin and Doge and Stellar feel welcomed and not threatened. In my humble opinion, there's just too many of this. We have the superior technology thing. It's just way too much of that coming out of content creators. Right? Way too much of that coming out. Who Moved My Cheese? That's a great book. I've read that, I don't know, decades ago, by Spencer Johnson. You talking? Is that what you're talking for? 16 Crypto by Spencer Johnson. That was a great book years and years ago, right? So that's what we want, those communities to feel welcomed. We want to lock arms and help to create network adoption. That's what we want. I mean, this is a crazy thing to kind of call out the maxis in Bitcoin and then go out and become one. It's kind of silly. Or, this use case maxi thing. No, that's second grade. It's second grade. Network adoption. Be a network adoption maxi. Right? That's what we want. We want adoption. And it starts with communities. In large part, it starts with the community. Right? Right? And so we want to lock arms with the people at Litecoin. Right? And together promote Flare networks. We want to lock arms with the people from Doge. And it's not doggy coin. Because a certain content creator just continues to disrespect the project and the people in the community and doesn't care that he's being disrespectful. Doesn't care. That's a problem. Right? And so we want to lock arms with people from the Doge community. We want to lock arms with the people from Litecoin community and from the Stellar Loom community, right? We want to lock arms. Right? I heard some things, Mark. Is there something new coming from BitBoy? We want to lock arms and create network community, network adoption. We want to lock arms and improve, and what is the word? Create an outstanding governance that should be modeled by the digital asset space. That's what we have an opportunity to do, is we have an opportunity to create a governance that will be that will be modeled by other governance communities. Right? But if we don't walk away from things like, the mentality, there's 2017 mentality. If we don't walk that, JP Morgan and whatever, nothing happens without them. We don't walk away from that crap. It's not going to happen if we don't walk away from this thing of lock everything up on a nano and don't use it. Just let the market do what it does, and then I'm going to go into fiat and go buy a mansion. If we don't walk away from that, that's 1990. That's a 1990 thing. This is a new financial system, and the success is due in large part to us as a community, right? We got to walk away from feeling powerless and begin to walk in being powerful.
The house that we're going to rent.
Yeah.
It was sold for $225. If you put 0 even down,
Yeah.
it's like 900.
Yeah. Think about it.
But I'm thinking about something.
Yeah. So that's right. There you go. 416 crypto. That's nicely done, my friend. Tribalism just creates animosity. Community creates opportunities. Exactly. And again, we gotta walk away from feeling powerless. We're not powerless here. The digital asset space is our chance to win. How are we going to treat it? How are we going to treat this freaking new asset class that is the digital asset space? How are we going to treat it? Part of that is, in treating it, is you're just going to hang out on the nano and just go around and travel the world and just travel the world. You're not gonna cast a vote. You're not gonna, I mean, goodness gracious, delegate a vote, for crying out loud. You're gonna look, you're gonna spend your Spark token on taxes. You're gonna give up your valuable asset. I'm still gonna love you if you do or not. Just to let you know. You're gonna give up your valuable asset so that you can take care of the old financial system. I'm not suggesting you not pay your taxes, but they got this thing called fiat dollars, right? You could pay taxes in those fiat dollars, right? Like, why would I take my Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP and go buy a car with it? It's the new financial system. When I could keep it and I could borrow that old financial system that we like to call dirty, nasty fiat, and I can go buy the car of that. And let my new financial system asset grow and evolve and become more valuable. You got to think reason why these gold companies are taking crypto. You got to really just sit back and think about that. Is that because? Do you think that's because they're nice? Do you think that's because they embracing? No, they recognize the new financial system. They recognize assets that are more valuable. They recognize assets that are the future. We have an opportunity to make Spark token great. We have an opportunity to do it. We have an opportunity to do. Mickey B. Fresh checked in. Mickey B. Fresh, what's good, brother? Appreciate you being here, my friend. Yeah, we just singing your praises, man. That last video I told him to go check out. I said, Mickey B. Fresh walked into our world with that hour-plus live stream. Walked into the Crypto Sieges world, right? But we have to understand that this is a new financial system, and we hold assets that are valuable. We hold assets that are valuable. But more important than that, with this whole concept of the DAO, that and governance, that whole thing, that's us. That's us. And perhaps maybe that was the whole Bitcoin promise. Maybe that was the real Bitcoin promise, the DAO and governance, where you and I can participate. And of course, you got to start financial. Everybody's interested in finances. So you got to start in that finance space. Right? We want DeFi to win. We want more DeFi projects winning, not the ones with quote unquote better technologies. Here's the thing about better technologies. They will stand up and raise their hand. They'll be like, yeah, look what we're doing. The proof is in the TVL. Let's put it to you that way. Okay. The truth is in the TVL. The fruit on the tree, rather, the fruit on the tree in DeFi is in the TVL, the total value locked. That's how you know who's winning. Aave, Curve just overtook Aave. Is number one in TVL. That's the technology. That's the winner. Whether it be because of network adoption, you're gonna have to have good tech. It can't be failing. Smart contracts can't keep getting breached. You can't win that way, right? The technology, that smart contract is gonna have to prove itself. And once it proves itself, plus network adoption, you'll get the TVL. You need them both. You need them both. You can't just have great ideas and great science. You need network adoption, right? That's the genius behind Ripple, my friend, right? My friends, that's the genius behind Ripple. That's a monster. Ripple's a monster. They got technology and the means to communicate and create mass adoption. It's a brilliant strategy. Oh, Mickey B. Fresh says, thank you. It was an insightful interview. That interview was all Patty XRP. I totally agree. DeFi is winning. Maple Finance is providing liquidity and credit to corporate. ABD hedge, really, hedge fund. QRED is another, right? And just think about that, right? There's a reason why, who is it? The two people recently, it's very, very funny to see people like Tika Taware, who's the guy from Galaxy Digital? What's his name? Oh, goodness, I can't remember his name. The Ethereum guy, right? You got a lot of these people are starting to hook up with DeFi funds, right? Make it refresh tunders onto that. They're hooking up and investing in these DeFi funds. Tika Taware, same thing. The guy, Galaxy Digital, same thing. They get where the future is. The future is without question in DeFi. Maple Finance is providing liquidity and credit to corporates. Maple Finance. They understand where the future is. That interview you did with the Polygon guy, I only got to watch like the first 20 minutes of that, Mickey B. Fresh. I mean, Polygon. With the Panther protocol guy, the doctor, Anish, I forget his last name. Powerful. And we're right in the middle of that. And all we have, like, I think there's this odd thing where people they can't see themselves in this position of, I don't know, I don't want to use the word importance, but they don't value who they are enough. The DAO and governance is about valuing who you are. That's why we say on this channel all the time, say yes to you. Say yes to you. Like, your voice matters. Your vote, it matters here in this DeFi space. I ain't talking about the old system. I'm talking about this new system. Active participation is going to be 1000% massive. And Mickey, I was saying that me personally, I went on my own personal thing there, and I said, there's a certain responsibility as a content creator. When you turn on the microphone and hit that camera, turn the camera on, there's a responsibility to get it right. It's a responsibility to get it right. There's a responsibility to create community. Again, this is not your 2017 digital asset space. And I get what the BTC people did, but we don't want to act like that. Each of us need all of us, and all of us need each of us. We don't want to create a divide. That gives the power that be an opportunity to win. We don't want that. Right? And so, in any case, and I was sharing that. Mickey said something. Yeah, and I was sharing that video that you did with Patty XRP because it has an important message. Not because I was mentioned in the video. I haven't even shared it yet. But the message was the most important thing. I mean, this is our chance to win. And we just have to think more of ourselves. The delegating of those spark votes counts. The active participation on Flare Network, it counts. It means something. What you do matters. We teach that all the time in our business. What you do matters. Participate. We have an opportunity to create this massive, opportunity to create network, right? Network effects is a big deal. It's a real deal. We want to lock arms with Litecoin, Stellar, Doge, whatever other asset, F-asset is going to come. We want to lock arms and go out and create network adoption. That's what we want to do. And we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to be the governance, to be the DAO that everyone else in the digital asset space looks to create. We have an opportunity to do that. And we're blessed with people like Mickey B. Fresh and Crypto Eddie and XRP Darren and freaking, what's his name? King Solomon, right? We're blessed with content creators who are willing to put in the work. And I respect the work ethic of people doing 3 and 4 videos a day. You can't discount that, right? But we have to get it right, and we have to promote community. That's how we win. Because there's still a fight going on. Like, a lot of people think it's over, like it's done. There's still a fight going on between the old financial system and this system. Those top 8 to 10 banks, they're not going down without swinging. There's still a fight going on. And it just takes just a little, and everyone thinks that we don't have what we do. It's not going to matter in that fight. That's not true. Think about if we go out and make Flare networks hugely successful. Think about what that will mean. Mickey said he shared a link in the thing here. Let me get it off of YouTube. Right? Think about that. That's important. We have an opportunity. The success of Flare networks is in large part on us as a Flare community, right? In large part, the failure of success. Don't you want it to win? I want it to win. I'm talking, this new transfer. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. You know how I say that in the outro? DeFi is a huge part of that. It's a huge part of that. And so it's going to take a certain amount of patience. But more importantly, it's going to take a certain amount of communication. Mickey posted a link. Let me check it here. It's going to take a certain amount. I don't see that link, Mickey. Unless this chat has been screaming and I missed it, right? It's going to take a certain amount of participation. I mean, it really, really, really is going to take a certain level of participation. Yeah, and I appreciate you checking in, Mickey B. Fresh, for sure, right? And it's important. It's probably my thing is probably behind. I posted the link in Maple Finance in the chat. I'm seeing more next-gen DeFi projects. Thank you, Siege. You're welcome, bro. I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but I totally agree with you with your theory. With your theory about having responsibility. Yeah, absolutely. And I've been saying that for years. Like, you turn that mic on and turn the camera on. It's a certain measure of responsibility that is hugely important. That is hugely important. Without question. So I'm excited about DeFi, and I told everybody, check out wanswap.finance. See what the buttons look like, right? For XRP. See what they look like. You can start with $5-10. Doesn't cost much to be on WanSwap. Don't cost much. I mean, the transaction fees are 0.001, right? Check it out. See what swap means. What does swap mean? Basically, it's just trading. Right? Check out, what does pool mean? What does yield mean? What does farm mean? Right? Watch a couple of videos. I did a couple of videos on wanswap.finance, right? On how to use XRP. Started out with $10. Then I went to $20. Then I went to $50 on wanswap. Then I went to $100 on wanswap. Then I went to $500 on wanswap. Now there's tens of thousands on OneSwap. Why? Right? To get familiar, get comfortable. I recognize the value in holding assets like XRP, swap, pool, farming, hive, cross-chain, Wand, lend. What do they mean? FOMO Mental has three videos, one word, FOMO Mental, FOMO Mental, on how to use OneSwap. Trust me when I tell you, you can start out with $5. Trust me that. Get a good feel for what that means. Then you can look to go to Aave, which is like the bank for DeFi, right? Then you can look to go to Aave, which is the bank for DeFi. Deposit your crypto, borrow against that same crypto. I love Celsius Network. I love it. But it's different than what Aave is offering. Celsius is for the person on the street that's not in this space yet, right? They have a major role. Aave and Curve and MakerDAO and Compound, right? And Pancake, they should be 10,000% grateful for Celsius. Why? Because Celsius brings new money into the ecosystem. They bring new people into the space. Aave, right, is for people in the space and well-versed in crypto. Celsius is for people who are not in crypto yet, and give them a safe user, a UI and a UX experience, a safe UI and UX experience in depositing their assets and earning yield on those assets. We need Celsius. Okay, we need Celsius. We need new people in the space. A new person in space is not going to hop on Aave and deposit stable coins and borrow against them. A new person is not going to do that. But they'll deposit $50 on Celsius and see what this thing's all about and use their app and get their grandchildren or their children to help them use it. That's what we need. We need to grow the size of the pie. And so Celsius is a blessing when it comes to that. But for those of us who've been in the space for a while, it's time to level up. It's time to level up, and you can begin to walk into DeFi. And you can start with $10 on OneSwap and figure out what that is, right? Figure out what that is and the benefits of doing it. Then you can go to Aave. Once you feel comfortable, then you can go to Aave and you can go to Sushi, right? You can go to both of those, app.sushi.com. You can figure it out, and now you got a good idea of what a swap is, what a pool is, what yield is, what farming is. What's this cross-chain bridge that OneSwap has? It's taking you off of one platform like the XRP ledger and bringing you onto the Wand chain ledger or blockchain. That's what that is. You'll see bridges, and more bridges are coming about. What is Polygon? What is that, and why does it matter? If you go to aave.app.com, you'll learn what it is, and you'll become comfortable. You'll learn the difference between borrowing on Celsius and borrowing on Aave. There's a difference. There's a difference. The masses will be good enough with Celsius. They'll be excited about a 1% loan. Excited about a 1% loan. Excited about being treated like the 1% of the 1%. Only the 1% of the 1% get a 1% loan. Did you realize that? That's how valuable your assets are. And that's what Celsius is telling you. But 99% of the people coming into space, they're not going to hop on Curve. They're not going to go to curve.fi and check that out. No. Way too confusing. Way too confusing. They're not going to do it. It's going to run them away from crypto. They need to go to Celsius. Get comfortable. They need to go where they can make a phone call and send in an email message and get a response to some questions. That's what Celsius offers with over 10 billion in assets under management. That's when new people come in. You want to bring people into space, get them over to Celsius, okay? Get them over to Celsius so they can begin to, they'll get started with $40-50 of free Bitcoin and begin to see, oh my goodness, I got paid a little bit of Bitcoin each week on Monday. They'll get comfortable with that. They'll get comfortable with stable coins, right? That's why I started my daughter, stable coins. No. Get your money out of that bank account. It's not doing you any good, right? That's where we are. But the most important thing is we have an opportunity to participate. Let me share some of Mickey Be Fresh with you guys before I get off. Hope I don't make them uncomfortable. But it's a hugely important message. Besides all the learning that you can get,
where maybe we don't see, thousands of layer 1, native asset tokens to their blockchains, but we see a bunch of dApp tokens in layer 2 type applications that have tokens that make use of them. I mean, you could literally just have a token to collect interest over time, or for governance voting, or, just many different things. So, in a world where the possibilities are continuing to expand, it would seem to me that, everything that's been built in crypto isn't just going to go away overnight one day.
And if there's yield with it and ability to lock it up and do other things, governance is a huge use case on a network.
Mm-hmm.
That's overlooked by many. That was.
Oh man, this thing is messing up. Don't mess up on me now. Don't mess up on me now. Sorry, my internet's not great. In any case,
somebody in the community that was talking about, well, how can ETH 2.0, transition and still be decentralized? We have this thing called governance of community networks, and I'm going to repeat it one more time.
There you go.
Because it agitated me so much. Flare Networks is a decentralized public blockchain that is launching. It is not a startup. It is not a business product. It is not dependent on Flare Limited success or not. So it doesn't fail in that way. So it's just like that comment in the community needs to be called out because it's very inaccurate. There is no guarantee that Flare Networks, the network, does succeed. But the facts are pointing to the, it's got inbuilt yield being airdropped to one of the largest communities in all of crypto. And it is breakthrough consensus and is built for the future.
Hugely important. All right. And they kind of get it. The people from Flare Networks get it. Each of us need all of us, and all of us need each of us. Flare Networks is saying this is about the people. You got to get that. This new asset class of the digital asset space is about the people. It's a new financial system, and governance and the DAO. All of these things are massively important. And Flare Networks recognizes the value of community. But we have to get it right. And we have to participate in a way that makes sense.
Have you seen anywhere what type of technology on the verification and the key management of the nodes that are running on the other blockchains signaling back?
Talking about the state connectors.
Yeah. So it goes into the whole federated Byzantine agreement consensus, and it follows that kind of same path. Once basically the Flare validators, they will also be operating on the underlying blockchains, and they'll be right there to collect the data, as it's coming in live. We'll, send that back over, signal it to the Flare network. Flare network receives that data, and then as long as basically enough of the nodes and validators on Flare network have had this new data presented to them, then it will go to start verifying that that occurred with the FBA model, and that'll kind of kick it off. But one of the big things is, with similar to consensus on XRP ledger or Flare, that these nodes still get to decide for themselves if that data is accurate and should be written down onto the blockchain in a mutable fashion.
So they could also verify it by checking with a public full history node that say the XRP Foundation runs.
Yes.
And I know those are available just to verify the data too. So this is all publicly verifiable here. And there's also another thing to bring up here, and I don't know if we talked this much. There's a two-way bridge between Flare and the XRP ledger. So Flare acts as a trustless gateway to the XRP ledger. One of David Schwartz's, dreams. He was so excited about having a trustless gateway. Flare Network can actually issue a asset in a decentralized way onto the XRP ledger, and the ledger nodes can actually verify that there's collateral backing that RA stablecoin. Like, how amazing that is. That's a huge breakthrough. Corda doesn't offer anything like that. And it's a private network. So I just think there should be excitement around Flare. Instead of this doubt and just speculative, we don't have to be successful. Read the damn facts. Just read. It's all it takes. I mean, I don't say everyone in the community, but the influencers in the community have an obligation to do the damn research. If you want to be lazy, then you know what? Don't talk. It just annoys me because I feel bad for those in the community. And these people who have a lot of influence are just being lazy. I don't know why that Flare is any way of a threat, because it's not. It's super complimentary. But we need to say something, and the community needs to be told the facts. Okay? And I'm very, it bothers me because I care about the community. And, I like to share knowledge. Patty and I, we do all this because we enjoy sharing the knowledge and educating everybody. But when we see somebody out there just completely speculating, throwing out comments and doing no research for 8 months and then just making stupid comments and then going conspiracy $1,000 price, predictions, it's insulting to the Flare team, who has spent 3 to 4 years, has just raised $11.3 million from an oversubscribed group of VCs that they said they could raise 10 times that amount. And they could have got 10 times the amount of VCs more, but they had to stop. So obviously the institutions see it's big. So in a couple months, when Flare is very successful, you remember who those people are who didn't do the research as influencers and just, talked out their behinds and just wanted to speculate negatively, because others in the community are doing the research and are learning. We're here to level up. I don't care if you got here in 2014, you need to keep leveling up. And if you just came into this industry and this market, you could catch up to somebody from 2013 very quickly, because people like to fall behind and they get lazy. And, some people don't want to be here a long time. They want to be in and out. XRP goes to $10, $13, that's their exit plan. But my man, Crypto Siege, if you're listening to this, he's the one who's been preaching it for about the last 2-3 years. He says, are you going to participate? Are you going to participate? Or are you going to sit on the sidelines? Or are you going to be a sheep? Because there's some specific sheeps right now in the community that you don't want to be the sheep. So we're going to try and set something up with Crypto Siege. I really like his attitude and his perspective on this market. So I think we're going to wrap it on that. Let's just play with that last video, Patty. I know this was a long one, but it was a very important video for me.
Yeah, thank you, Mickey Profesh. I appreciate that. And that video he's talking about, what he's highlighting there at the end of that, is with Crypto Eddie and the guy from Flash FX, the CEO over there as well. And it just really points to, this is someone who knows from the inside how powerful Ripple the company is and how in tuned they are to the future. It's important. It's really, really important to get that. What is more important is recognizing that what you do, my friends, matters. Your vote matters. Your delegating and how you treat that Spark token, it matters. Your ability to lock arms with other people in the Flare community to create network adoption, it matters. It's time for us to walk away from this mentality of being powerless and walk into being powerful as a community. The DAO and governance, the decentralized autonomous organizations and governance, it matters, right? And we have an opportunity. It's the way I see it. We have an opportunity to be that model of governance that others strive for. We have that opportunity here. It's not a little thing. You have to make your own decisions on what you're going to do with the Spark token. For me, in the Crypto Siege's home, the last thing we will be doing is using our Spark token to pay taxes. Taxes. Remember I said on my last stream, you know, it's an interesting thing when a tax law comes out, and then right after the tax law, they give you 4 or 5, 10 ways to not pay those taxes. You understand that? That's an interesting concept. It's an interesting concept. And when you owe, you know, they're more than willing to put you on a monthly schedule to pay. Why do you think that is? I want you to recognize, and I hope that you recognize, you hold some valuable assets. They know it. The question is, do you know it? Do you know it? Young Quincy even said something about, why in the world would you go into fiat, right? I get there's certain financial obligations that have to be met. We met one of our financial obligations by not liquidating our XRP. In the old school financial world, we had an obligation. We didn't liquidate our XRP and give it to meet some financial obligation. We leveraged our XRP. We borrowed against it. Why? Because we recognize the value in the XRP. And it's just getting started in terms of its value, not its price. Not its price. It's just getting started and being recognized for its value. It's just getting started. Right? And so if you see it as a valuable asset 10 years from now, why would you do away with it to meet some financial obligation in the old financial system? Leverage it. We all will have to become better stewards of our assets. We all will have to become better at managing a balance sheet. We're all going to have to get better at doing that. Assets, borrow, what's the cash flow and the yield. We're all going to have to get better at putting together that asset sheet and what it looks like. We're all going to have to get better at recognizing net APY, recognizing TVL. We're all going to have to get better at that total value lock. We're all going to have to get better at not being afraid of impermanent loss, but understanding what it really means and what it really looks like, what it really feels like. We're all going to have to get better at that. That's why Mickey B. Fresh says, level up, right? That's what we say on our channel all the time. We have to level up our XRP IQ. We have to level up our overall digital asset space IQ, which includes tokenization and DeFi. And we all have to level up our traditional financial IQ. A Roth IRA has a place. It has a place, but it's not number one. It's not the end all be all. The strategy behind LLCs and real estate is better than just the regular Roth IRA. It has a place, but the crypto space is going to DeFi is going to offer you far more opportunities. There's a reason why people are going into insurance and DeFi. There's a reason why people are getting into insurance and DeFi. And it's not because of life and death. Okay. It's because it could become a financial product, dividend paying cash flow product. It's important to understand it. And they're starting out now with this whole, we'll back you if a DeFi platform rugs a pull, but that's just the starting point for insurance. The wealthiest of the wealthiest and the wealthiest businesses use insurance as a financial product, not for insurance. That's a fact. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this video like I do all my videos. It's been a really, really cool hang. Mark Wilkes, I appreciate you being here, my friend. I really, really do. That's right. There's tools to minimize impermanent loss, right? You can go to DeFi Saver. You can use DeFi Saver. You can go to, there's another platform as well. I forget what it's called that you can use as well. Let me look that up. But DeFi Saver is really, really cool right now. It's for Ethereum. But what's the name has one? Baller has one, right? Balance. right? It's called the Impermanent Loss Simulator for Balancer pools. They have that as well, right? So just understand that. And DeFi Saver is really, really cool, Mickey. I know you and Patty XRP were talking about, it'd be nice to have a platform where you can kind of set parameters for when you're beginning to walk into that range for permanent loss, and just have liquidity automatically pulled. And DeFi Saver does that, right? And so these things are coming to the DeFi space. It's getting better, right? The DeFi space is getting better. It's not getting worse. More and more tools, like Mickey Freestress is saying, there's tools to minimize impermanent loss. Borrow against your FXRP at a safe ratio, then use borrowed assets in liquidity pool to earn 3 revenue streams at once. Exactly. That's exactly right. You got to learn how to be a lender, to be both a lender and a borrower. Got to feel comfortable with that, right? And once you get kind of the rhythm behind lending and borrowing, right? And once you get net APY, right? Once you get that, a lot of people are borrowing on Celsius and going into DeFi. Lots of people, and I'm talking big people. They're borrowing on Celsius and they're going over to DeFi. Why? Because you can restructure your loan anytime you want. Like, you can restructure it anytime you want. You had a 1 year. Okay, let's restructure it to 2 years. You can, and it's 1%. It's 1%. So there are tons of people over there. They're borrowing over here and they're going on to DeFi. Now, they're not going on to a platform that hasn't proved itself, right? The smart contract hasn't proven itself yet. No, they're going over to Aave. They're going over to Curve. They're going over to MakerDAO. They're going over to Compound, right? They're hopping on Polygon, right? They're going over to proven platforms with, billions of dollars in TVL, and they're leveraging it. But it starts first where being a borrower, recognizing, oh, wait a minute, I got assets of value. I can borrow against that. I don't have to liquidate it. I can then take it over to DeFi, right? And then look at my net APY. It's amazing. They're not waiting around for when moon. We've got to walk away from this 90 to 120 day when moon mentality and walk into cash flow, walk into balancing, right? Your business balance sheet, working that balance sheet of assets, of debt, of lending. Where am I providing liquidity, right? You have to go to Zapper.fi, right? Where it monitors for you all the platforms in DeFi that you're in. It does it for you, right? Does it for you, Zapper.fi. Got to know that. Got to get comfortable with that, right? As I remember one time, I was in so many pools I couldn't keep track. Came across Zapper.fi. Now I'm good, right? It's getting better. It's getting better. But the DeFi space, again, is our chance to win. It's a massive, massive thing. Understand the difference between CeFi platforms like Celsius and DeFi. They each have a place. Celsius is going to increase the size of the pie. What I mean by that is bringing new people off the street into crypto. Celsius has a major role in the success of the digital asset space. They just invested $200+ million into mining. They're supporting this whole ETH 2.0 thing. They put up all the short Ethereum that was short. Celsius network put up that ETH. There would be no ETH 2.0 in this new thing without Celsius. They put up the ETH. They were short tons of ETH. And Celsius put it up. They're committed to the digital asset space. Doesn't matter if they're not fans necessarily of the Ripple movement. Doesn't matter. They're promoting the overall DeFi movement. That's us. That's us for sure. And by the way, they supported the Spark token drop. Right. And so there's no need to be afraid of impermanent loss. I always see it as opportunity cost, right? It's an opportunity cost thing. Once you get it and you get comfortable with it and you recognize that you don't have to be afraid of impermanent loss, and there will be strategies and there will be tools to make you more comfortable without question. I just mentioned a couple. DeFi Saver, Baller has one. Right, which is Balancer. There'll be tools and there'll be strategies. But recognize for this community, Flare Networks is our gift. It's a gift. Spark Token is a gift, and we get to participate. I would love for our governance and how we participate on Flare Networks to be the model in this new asset class. That would be a pretty cool deal. And it's up to you and I. What you do matters. Let's walk into being powerful. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to end this stream like I do all my streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.